Hello everyone, welcome to Hippo Dairy. My name is Lingam. Thank you for watching this video. This is the final module of the series, and we will be seeing how we can make use of the pagination control. And whenever we click the buttons inside our pagination control, how we can take that events and make the actual change in pages. Let's go ahead and start seeing that. Hello, welcome back. So we will start with trying to fix the list here. So whenever we get the list, we need to do some sort of okay. We saw the issue here, right? Like when we have the full list, it is going to be 1000. We don't need something like this. We need a pages. That's why we are doing the pagination itself. So instead of binding the full list, we need to bind it to a demo list. Let me bind it to demo list, which is going to be empty at this point of time, but that doesn't matter. Okay, and then what we are going to do is, based upon the user changes to this display items and the views, we are going to do some calculation, and then we are going to fetch the values from the full list, and then we are going to display it. That's what we are going to do now. So how do we do that? Let's start. So what we can do is, first, instead of going into deep analysis, whenever we get the full list value, like wherever or whenever we get, let us start with here in the initiation. Let us start with the first demo list page. Okay, so let's start here. I'm going to call a new method and I call it as how do I call it? Maybe like process page. Does that sound good? Like, because we are processing the page, of course. So let us process page. So this method is an important method that we are going to call frequently, and I'm also going to put in an object parameter. We might not need it, but let it be there. Okay, so what happens whenever we do the temporary seed? We are getting the full list. This temporary seed, as the name suggests, it is temporary. I'm getting so many messages. Okay, so after we get the temporary seed, we need to process a page, so which is obviously the demo list. So list of string page list is equal to new list of string, and then finally this will be filling our demo list. So demo list is equal to new observable collection, which is page list. It's like observable collection, which takes in the list itself and then converts it into observable collection. So in between we need to fill it. How do we fill it? What are the things that we need to know? We need to get okay, we need to know how many items. So total items per page. We already have the total items per page, where it is from pagination dot total items per page. So full list dot I will do a different approach, because we have something called a skip take approach. But before that, I will try to do something else, and then we will see. For I is equal to, we start from pagination. We are working on the top pagination. Top pagination dot. We need the starting value. So we need two items. Starting count, and we just need only one item, starting count. So integer starting count is equal to the pagination dot current page, whatever is the current page. Top pagination is the view model. This is not the pagination itself. Oh my god. Whatever is the current page, let's say like we are in the current page 1 minus, like let's say how many items per page. top pagination dot total items per page. It's not total items per page. Okay, what do we get here? Let's say like we have like 11 items in our first page, like items per page is 10, don't consider as 11 10, and our first page is like it's always going to be 1 into 10 is going to give us 10, but we don't need to start from 10, we need to start from 0. So what we need to do is it's always going to be one page lesser, so minus 1. So now this will give us a correct value. Like let's say like you are in you need to start from page 3, which means that 3 into 10 30, which is like the end of page 3, but you need to start with 3 minus 1, which is 2 into 10 is equal to 20. So you will start from 21st value. So that's what we will do. So we will start with the starting count, and we need to also do some checks here whether the starting count is greater than the available list or other things, but we will do that later. And this is lesser than starting count plus items per page, obviously, because you need that items per page. There you go. This is still error prone, but we will come back here. Page list dot add for this particular value I, you are going to get from full list of I. This is a normal easy method where you can do some basic calculation to get it, but still this is error prone. So we will just see how it works and then we will go back to fix things. See, you got 25 items here, like 1 0 to 25, and then when you go to the next page you got from okay, the next page is still not working because you're only doing it once when the process changes. Okay, we will again change this, go down, instead of 25 let's say 10 maybe, so that we have 10 items per page. Let's see if it is clear. Okay, there we go. We have 10 items starting from 0, we have 9, so which is 10 items which is in one page. And if we go, it doesn't change the pages, but that's fine as of now. We need to fix that next. So what happens whenever your next or previous button is clicked, which means that what happens when you click the next or previous button, your current page changes, which means that whenever your current page property gets changed, you need to process this page again. So how do we know that the current page property has changed or not? It's very simple. It's already provided inside your pagination model itself. Let's do that. That's where our property changed event. If you remember from our first video, we use change notifier model. That's where it comes into play. So inside the top pagination, inside our pagination dot current page. So our current page is inside our pagination model. Let me open the pagination model so that you can see. See, whenever the current page in this pagination model changes, what happens? It raises something. It raises the property changed event. So we need to subscribe to this event here. That's what I'm going to do. So the property changed event, I'm going to subscribe to that event. So whenever that property gets changed, I'm going to get it here. And then I also need to know one more thing, that the property which is changed is only coming from current page, because there are a lot of properties inside our inside the pagination model. We have current page, items per page, total items, and so many properties. We don't need to invoke our process change every time. We need to invoke only when the current page is changed. So we are going to have it here and say if e dot property name is name of top pagination dot current page. You can also do one thing, instead of giving this name of blah blah blah, you can just take this value and then you can put something like this, which will be much easier. So whenever the page changes, you are going to process change. It's quite simple, right? So you are binding to the property change and it takes a value, so let's give it as null. So what happens here, it again goes through and then again it takes the total list and count, because the current page is also changing, items per page is also changing, and everything changes, and based on it works. So let's try now. Okay, there we go. Page 2, it comes here and then it runs the page, and what happens, you see, the starting count now is 10 because you are in second page, which means that you need to start the count from 10 and then you do this. So let us remove the breakpoint and we run it here. Now we got it. Page 1 0 to 9, page 2 10 items, 10 to 19. You go forward and the pages changes. There you go, your pagination works. What if you want to change this? 5, and remember to press enter because you have registered the enter key. Voila. How did it happen? You were in page number 5, 20, and then you are changing it to 6. You remember, whenever this changes, we are also changing the current page to 1. That is the reason when you change the display item, the current page goes to 1, and since the page changes, the value also gets changed. So let's say you have two items and you have 500 pages to go through. Ta-da! And let's say you have 50 items. You have 50 items here and you have 20 pages to go through. Okay, now this is fine, this looks fine, this is okay, but there is one more big caveat in this, because if you see the pagination model, total items is coming from where arbitrary value, but this is not correct. Only the expected or like items per page should come from here, like user defined, but the total item should come from the full list. Whatever is the full list should be the total item. You cannot go more than that, then that will be a problem. So let's try to do that now. Let's try. How do we do this? Instead of doing the pagination model here, you take the temporary seed and full list and demo list, everything above your initiation, or in your actual work, you just check where the logic fits properly and then you do that. Aywa, there we go. Aywa is an Arabic word which means yes. I'm not good at Arabic, but I have a lot of Arabic speaking friends, so it rubs off. So there we go, we got the full list, and this should be full list dot count. Full list should be with underscore dot count. Is that a method? That's a method. So let's try again. Now this is cooler because we know we have 1000 items, and based on 10 we have 100 pages. We don't have more. Like let's try this here. In the temporary seeding, if I give 1500, we will have 150 pages, obviously. So we have 150 pages here, 150 pages, and it goes like this. Now we come to another issue, which is taking the values. So now for this demo purpose, what I will do is I will just try to start with the processing pages. There is an issue. Let's put it here. For demo purpose, I will just give 40 values now, just 40, or let's say 36. 36, The reason why I'm giving 36 is it is not going to be complete. So let's try now. Okay, the starting count starts at 0. Fine. I should not have it here. I should have it here. 4 pages. 2. So when I go to the next page, my starting count starts at 10. And then it starts from 10 and then it runs till items per page. That's perfect. Third page, perfect. Now when we go to the fourth page, you see the starting item is 30, which is correct, and it runs till what? 10, which means that 30 plus 10, 40. So this is going to run until we have reached 40. But how many items do we have in our full list? We have only 36 items. So which means that the moment you try to go beyond 36, you will get null reference error. Shall we try? You will get like okay, it's not null reference error, it is argument out of range exception. So this is the error which we need to sort, which we will see shortly. So how do you fix this error? It's so easy. Instead of starting count, you also have ending count, and then you just take this and put it here, and you just have a basic check and say if ending count is greater than, like it's just like same how we did for our pagination model, is greater than the full list dot count. The moment it goes beyond the count, then the ending count should be equal to full list dot count. So this ensures that the moment the ending count goes beyond, like in our case it was 36 and it was trying to go beyond, like the ending count was calculated as 40. The moment it goes above 36, the final list is limited as 36. So that's better. But is there any problem here? Do you see? Of course there is one problem, because when you say 36, no, that's no problem, fine, because we are starting from 0 and this is since list. I don't want to confuse you. So let's go ahead and see now, and I will remove it until we hit 2 3, and now I will hit and we will try again. At this point our starting count is 30 and the ending count is 40, but we have the full list count which is going to be 36. So our ending count is limited as 36. Now we don't have any error. There we go. So this pagination model itself, the pagination user control itself, is only for holding your current page items, next page, total page, all the item values. But the calculation, how you are going to make use of this user control is up to you. You need to define and come up with this process page, and you need to come up with this property change event to change it, and all the set of things. Maybe going forward, maybe in the future, maybe we will try to include this process page itself inside our pagination model, so that inside our user control itself, instead of doing all these things. But as of now I don't want to make things complicated, so this is as it is now. That's it, guys. Okay, I left one more things, the skip and take. Okay, how do we work with skip and take? Skip and take is very easy. Instead of doing this for blah 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 items, we just do full list dot skip. How many items do we need to skip? Let's say I need to skip what is the starting count? I need to skip the first starting count items, and then I need to take how many items? Items per page, which is this. Okay, and then I take this as page list. Shall we try it now? This is a one line thing, we don't need to worry about anything. There is an error, cannot convert from enumeration to list of strings, so obviously it is an enumeration. So say to list. Ooh, it's not here. Here dot to list, and let us try to remove this count as well and see if it results in an error. Rebuild solution, run 1 2 3. Did you see something? It doesn't care about how many items that goes beyond it. Like, you don't have to worry about this full list count, end list count, and total items missing and everything. All it does is the skip will be like, it skips the first whatever value you give, and take will take whatever value. Even if you give like the full list has one item and you are saying the take next 10 items, it doesn't care. Even if you ask the list to take the 10 items, it has only 2 items, so obviously it is going to take only 2 items. So you don't have to worry about this logic when you are going to do with skip and take. This is kind of easy, but I want you to understand what's happening before you start using the skip and take. That's the reason why I started with this ending thing. So now that we have seen how this pagination control can work, let us do a quick recap. See, what we have done is we have created a user control with DLL inside a DLL file using this pagination. All you have to do is, like, if you see, after you create all this, set the view model and everything, in your actual work, what you are doing is you are just calling that pagination view model, which is from this helper controls, and then this demo list, full list, seeding, everything is part of your job, like part of how you do or define your work. The only thing is, once you are ready with your pagination model, all you have to do is just put your control here or anywhere else, like wherever you want, you put the control and then you bind it to your view model pagination. So, and then inside the view model pagination, you are only you are not going to give anything except for the total items and items per page. Like, this items per page is also like starting item per page, which is 10, but then you can again change it during the runtime. But other than that, you have one more important thing, which is this process page, which is the most important thing. Whenever your property gets changed, the current page property changed, you need to process it something like this, so that you can get a new list and then you can define it to your list view or anything you want. So in a nutshell, the page whatever you are displaying here, whatever you are displaying, is not directly linked to the pagination control. Pagination control is sort of acts as an independent one, where you just give some basic total page value and items per page, and it does some calculations and then it returns to you the page value, like current page, and based upon that you do a process change and then you show what you need to show. That's what we have been trying to achieve so far. And if you would want to do the same for another one, it's very easy, just like how you did for your full page here. Where was it? Full page here, the temporary seed, you will do for one more demo list or something, or like say selected item list, and then you put it in the bottom. That's how it works. So you have two different items, two different pagination control. Hello everyone, so it's time for some recap, and this will be the final recap for the series. I'm not going to give what recap on what we did in this video, but we are going to see the complete recap. So the whole series is divided into two particular sections. The first section, we created the user control itself. So this user control we created inside a DLL library. So it is not a exe file, it is like a DLL library. How we created it? We created a WPF project and then we changed it into class library, and then we defined the model, view model, everything. After we did this, we binded them, like wired them up together, so everything was set up there. And then the next part was we created the WPF project itself. It is obviously the executable file, exe file. And here we referred the DLL library, like we just since it is in the same project, we refer them. If you are going to use it in a different external project, you can just take the DLL and put them there, or you can keep it in a NuGet package, or do whatever you want, and then you can refer that. And after you refer them, you also create properties of the view model. So you need only one property, two property, which is your view model and then your model. So view model is mainly as a property which will be data binded as the data context to your user control. And then finally, based upon your pagination model changes, like inside your view model, you have the pagination model, and based upon the changes in the property, like the current property, whenever the current property changes, you subscribe to that event, and then based on that you change your pages. I don't know if I'm confusing you. I'm totally tired. So I hope this is clear to you people. So if you have any comments, just write back to me and I will try to clear them. Thank you all. Thank you so much for bearing with me so long.